Let's go to Matt, who's a Man United fan. All right, Matt?
Hello, how are we?
I'm all right, Matty. You?
Yeah, you know, I lost the game tonight, so you know where we are.
They're bad beyond the window.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with us, that, mate. Nothing to do
We've
with
got
us.
no buttons to press here.
Look, you get yourselves out of a hole in what Harry Maguire saves your bacon, really, but...
Sort of, right. I watched the game at the pub with 6 lads around me, just whinging. Right. Yeah. I'm a Stratford ender. I'm 31 years old. Been going since 97. Remember Jason Yule scoring against us in my first ever game. I love the club.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out, because I'll support the manager that's in front of me. What I want to say is, there's 2 things that are bothering me. The narrative about Ten Hag's poor transfers and poor signings.
Okay, what's the narrative around that though? Because
I thought it's kind of black and white, straightforward.
So we say quite often, why did Ten Hag sign Anthony? Why has he signed? You know,
Billet.
I think Dillet's been, you know, he's 4 games in. Let's be honest.
Okay.
We used to give people a season to settle in, but he's walked into a structure and a club that, let's remember, after David Gill and Fergie left, we bought Fellaini for 5 mil extra. For Everton he was. But we bought him for 5 mil extra because we forgot to buy him earlier and we couldn't sign Cesc or Bale at the time. We've had Di Maria, Sanchez. We let Pogba go on a free. Then we bought him for 80 mil. Then we sold him on a free. We got a £50 million offer for Lingard in January from West Ham. Rather than take it, we kept him, didn't play him, and then he went on a free. Ten Hag has walked into a disarray of a club that was run, and I say was run by Ed Woodward, where our transfers for the last 12 years have been shambolic. This summer, I think we've done better. The bar was low, don't get me wrong, but we have done better. But I don't like that we're saying Ten Hag signings. Why is our manager responsible for these signings? Do you think?
What do you mean? He's the manager. I know you have a sporting director, but the manager should have the power to be like, I want that player, I want this player, go and try and get him.
So as of 4 or 5 months ago, he's had a structure behind him to do that, and that's why I think that our signings of Ugarte, Delete, Mazraoui, they're only 4 or 5 games in. Let's not write them off yet. They could become better.
Where's the evidence of them getting better though? You know, he's signing players from Ajax.
But why is he being asked to sign him? Do you think Pep scouted Alvarez?
Yeah,
from
of course
South America? I think he was given from a scout a video saying...
He might see a video, but he's still going to say yes or no, and then he's going to watch the videos himself and have his own judgment.
But I believe that before this summer, Woodward probably went to Ten Hag saying, lads, I don't know who to buy. Who should we get? So Ten Hag could only turn to Ajax.
Honestly, if that's the case at Manchester United Football Club, you're in the biggest hole I've ever heard of. I don't know who to sign.
That's not
what
the
are you
case.
going on about.
Ten Hag would have said, I need certain X, Y, Z of players. He knows the Ajax lot because he's played with them, he's managed them through Ajax. So he would have gone to the scouting department and said, right, this is what I need in this position, this is what I'm looking for. They would have came back to him and said, X, Y, Z's available. He would have gone, right, I want the green light, I want this player, I want that player, I want this player. He spent 600 million, right? And the only players that he haven't bought was Garnacho, Rashford, Dilla and Maguire. The rest of the lot, the rest of them have been his yes or his signings. That's the whole team, more or less.
Before this summer, the signings have been absolutely awful. I cannot agree more.
Right, but that's down to the manager.
But it's only until this summer that we've had a structure.
But that's down to the manager as well.
Ownership as well. He should have the people around him to give him ideas, which we haven't had until this summer. That's my devil's advocate. And again, I'm not Ten Hag in. I don't know if I'm in or out. But until
if you get beat on Sunday, are you Ten Hag out?
So my point, that was the next thing I was going to say. I want to be, but who do we bring in next? So
we got Van Nistelrooy.
So it's Van Nistelrooy who's had 1 year experience at, was it PSV or Feyenoord? PSV.
Yeah.
So we'll bring him in until the end of the season. Great. But is that an upward step? Is that reaching levels of, Klopp, Pep, Arteta? No. I love Ruud, by the way. Like, great striker. But is he going to take us to the next level? No. It's going to be a stopgap until the end of the season. That's not what...
It can't be any worse than this.
I know, but
it can't get any worse
than
than
this. You're kicking the can down the road, Matt.
Just keep
Do
it in
you
there.
see Ten Hag being your manager next season?
No, but I also don't want to take a sideways step and bring in...
Why not? It might work.
Because
It can't be any worse. You're 13th in the table and you ain't won a game in Europe.
We've
won
had
1 in
years
10.
of sideways steps. We've done Ollie, Mourinho, Van Gaal. We've brought in supposedly great managers and got nowhere. If we take another sideways step, I'll ring you in a year's time and I'll be in the same position.
Yeah, but Van Nistelrooy's not. Van Nistelrooy is a means to an end.
For how long and what's he going to achieve?
You might, Ancelotti might be available in the summer. Do you know what I mean?
And I'd love that. It's sad because it's October and the season almost feels like it's over. That's where it's hard. But if we move sideways, what are we going to gain?
Well, at the moment, you're moving backwards. You're not moving sideways at the moment. You're actually going backwards.
Matty, listen, I've got a break. Keep your calls coming in. Obviously, want to hear from Man United fans tonight.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.